What's up, guys? It's the Rock and Rising Show. My name is Rock, and that's my boy
Justin Rising. We're coming back at you again. We did get a little comment in the last video for a little bit of information about some of these consoles that are coming out. We wanted to put a little bit of research behind what we were talking about. The three major consoles that we have that have information on them now. So like the PlayStation 4 Pro that already came out, and then the Nintendo Switch, which already came out. And then we have the Xbox One X that is coming out soon. Those are the three things that we want to talk about. We want to get a little bit more of like a spec sheet behind some of them and get some more information. So without holding you guys up any further, this is our quick kind of knockout guide for the new consoles that are coming out, these next-gen consoles that have already come out or are coming out. What you can buy on the market today to be current.
Yes.
So, the first one we have is the
PlayStation Pro.
You fucking know it. The
PlayStation Pro.
Without saying that word. we have the PlayStation 4 Pro. And what we have with that is some information that I have on my phone.
Yes.
Anyway, I'm talking about some of these specs on these. So we're starting out with the PlayStation 4 Pro, and for anybody in the know who wants to know, it has a 2.1 gigahertz processor, 8 cores total. It is an AMD Jaguar is what they're calling it, CPU. The AMD Polaris graphics card is going to be in the PlayStation 4 Pro, or already is in there, giving you 4.2 teraflops. Don't ask me what a teraflop is. I don't know, and I don't really care. One of the big things that you want to look at, though, when you're talking about processing power, processing speed, you want to look at the actual graphic memory, and you have 8 gigabytes of graphic memory GDDR5.
Dope.
And then between the Xbox One X and the PlayStation Pro, that's basically where the differences end. You're looking at 4K VR. The deciding factor here is going to be like, what games do I want to play? And I'm talking about like Shadow of the Colossus, Final Fantasy, Drake's, Uncharted.
Uncharted.
What else do we have? Crash Bandicoot. They just came out with a new kind of update for that as well. Things that we talked about in the E3 video, things that we're really excited about for PlayStation. And like I said, we're not really PlayStation fanboys, but I think PlayStation really kind of nailed it in with some of the exclusives this year. Really cool things. So I mean, like with that, what would you want to see in VR? So I mean, like PlayStation VR, what do you want to see in
VR? I want to see that girl. That girl. That game.
Look, I want to see that girl in VR also.
I want to see that girl in VR. I want to see that game, that open world game where there's like more than 1 billion planets, blah blah blah.
Oh, like No Man's Sky.
No Man's Sky.
Yo, wait, what's the other one called? There's like something like Between Good and Evil or something like that. That's another crazy game. That's gonna be like apparently this is coming out like probably 2019.
Yeah, they should have. They should.
That game looked awesome though.
They should have put No Man's Sky on VR. I mean, I don't know if they have it. Don't quote me on that, but I know it's basically right now just CD console on PlayStation, and it's both of them, right?
Yeah.
But it would look 100 times better if you was in VR mode and you're in No Man's Sky. PlayStation VR, pretty cool things there. I do want to move on to the Xbox, which, like I said, we're gonna try and make this kind of a short video. Yes.
We want to get some information out there on the fly. Check it out. The next thing I want to talk about the Xbox One X, formerly known as Project Scorpio.
Project Scorpio.
So what we have, and this is the big thing, you got to realize that the PlayStation 4 Pro is already out. So they went with whatever technology they had at the time to make a $399 game system.
Push it.
Which is a nice price tag.
It is,
right?
It is. I paid $600 for my PlayStation 4 when it first came out,
right.
The bundle pack.
And then now you have the Xbox One X coming out at the $499 price tag, and that is high. That is quite high. It is.
That's steep because that's the same price that they came out with the Xbox with. Right. The Xbox One.
And then you have the November 7th release date on it, and you're gonna be fighting to get that before Christmas. Your kids are gonna be like, oh, I want that new Xbox. You're not gonna get it. You're not gonna get it until probably January or February next year.
So basically, it's a pocket buster. November 7th.
It is. You're talking
about.
You know
why? You know why it's a pocket buster? Because now you're gonna pay $500 for the X if you get it, and on top of that, Call of Duty comes
right.
out.
And that's at minimum. If you're paying $500 minimum, right now the PlayStation 4 Pro is selling for $949 online.
They keep that.
That's the average price that it's selling for. You can get it cheaper if you're getting it from the store. My suggestion: pre-order it.
But Call of Duty comes out November 9th.
Yeah.
So a lot of people
they're hitting you hard that weekend.
Yeah, they hit me hard one time when the PlayStation 4 came out. I bought GTA. I bought the bundle pack for GTA, which is $110, and this was still for the 3. And then I bought Call of Duty, which came out GTA came out.
Oh, I forgot about that. That weekend it was like Call of Duty, Grand Theft Auto, and
and then the PlayStation 4.
More on these specs outside of the Xbox One X, the price tag, the release date. We're talking about later on down the line, later on this year. Save up for it. It is expensive. I'll give you that. They are using an 8-core, still x86, basically the same thing as the AMD processor that's in the PlayStation. Is basically the same processor. There's no real big thing to talk about there. The biggest thing to talk about, the difference between these two systems, is going to be the much larger graphics card that is going inside of the Xbox One X. You're talking about the difference of one of them is 8 gig GDDR5, the other one is 12 gigabytes of GDDR5. That 4 gigabytes actually makes a difference when you're talking about like modding out Grand Theft Auto 5.
Yes.
Or I want to run in 60 frames per second in VR. Those gigabytes matter. And then once again, back to it again, the rest of the specs are pretty much the same. And then you have to look at the exclusives that Xbox has. So you're talking about like Halo's going into the future. Forza, which I believe is a Xbox exclusive, which is obviously a solid game. I'd love to drive a Lamborghini in VR. Man,
does Xbox have a VR?
Yeah. Well, actually no, I don't know what to do.
See, PlayStation's still winning.
I think they do. So I don't know if that's the thing. It's like
they didn't say nothing about it.
No, they didn't. But
so
can I hook up like an HTC Vive to my Xbox One X? We gotta do some more research. And then
link it.
We're gonna come back to the Nintendo Switch. I have one. Rodimus has one. We've been both having a lot of fun with it. Yes. Rodimus' son's put countless hours in that thing.
Oof, man,
what games do you have for that now?
I got Mario Kart 8. We got 1-2 Switch, which I enjoy 1-2 Switch because it's it's not a one-on-one.
It's a party game. You can make a drinking game out of it.
Yeah.
Not saying that you should. I'm just saying you could.
No, but 1-2 Switch is really cool. You know what I mean? Because you get to it is definitely you could definitely bring it to a party.
Yeah.
And then I have ARMS, which is another great game. But you gotta understand.
They have Fight Night for it though, like a solid,
is pretty dope.
Kind of no joke, boxing game for it. I think.
Yeah, I mean ARMS is pretty dope. They caught that in that. You know what I mean? You just gotta get with it. But there's not too many games out there. Everybody's waiting for Mario. That's what everybody's waiting for Mario.
So I'll go in a little bit deeper. The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild was. You haven't played it. I'm sorry. Yeah, you haven't played it.
I still play in Zelda 1.
Look, it's phenomenal. It is one of the best looking games, best playing games.
I'm gonna buy it.
The only downside to it is I think the button schematic on that game is different than your PlayStation or your Xbox. So your action buttons are different. Your jump.
There's a lot of buttons on the Switch.
There are a lot of buttons on the Switch, man. Are a lot of buttons. I got I can take a picture, a screenshot, which is cool. So I think where the Nintendo Switch really shines is you don't need to even be connected to the internet to play with your friend. I can connect via local Wi-Fi. So my Wi-Fi connects to your Wi-Fi on your system, and we can play locally. So me and my brother were doing this the other day. We were playing, I think it was Minecraft or something like that. We were playing.
What is it? Minecraft the story or regular?
No, it's just regular Minecraft. Yeah, we were playing that. Oh man, they're coming out Rocket League. They're coming out with some really video game esports type of games. So they're coming out with Rocket League, Splatoon. I think they have a racing game for it now, and then ARMS I think will be pretty cool. Pokken Tournament, which is the Pokemon game, which is a fighting game. Yes. Oh, and then they have Street Fighter, and then they're coming out with
they got Street Fighter.
Yeah. Then they got the
original
old Neo Geo games what was that game called? Samurai Showdown. Which I remember playing way back in the day. So to me, Nintendo's bringing that nostalgia factor. I think
Nintendo always had that everyone friendly.
Right.
Nintendo's that everyone friendly console. You know what I mean? Which Xbox and PlayStation, they kind of go to the not the amateurs, but like the gamers, and then you got the pro gamers. You got gamers, and then you got pro gamers, and then you got amateurs. Well, Nintendo caters to amateurs.
I would say like
I say
casual gamers. I wouldn't necessarily say like amateur, because there are some hard games. I mean, The Legend of Zelda is not an easy game. Now, I mean, it's not a competitive game.
I still cook it though.
I mean, you can try it out. So I will say though that this new game system that Nintendo came out with, they are bringing some slightly different titles to the table. So like Payday, which I would not expect to see on a Nintendo console. Payday's coming out. They're coming out with a Skyrim edition for it. We talked about this in the E3. I went off a little bit, but
rimmed out.
I'm excited because these are different titles than what Nintendo would normally put forward. It's something much different than like the, as you said, kind of amateur or casual gamer. These are not casual games. These are like, a little bit of violence, something a little more difficult. It's not just like, push the A button until you get through the game. It's not like level jumping. These are pretty solid games that they're coming out with, So
I never heard of that. Push the A button until you.
Yeah, I mean, that's basically it. Mario, push the A button until you win.
Hell no. No way. Where?
No. Old Mario, like side scrolling, like.
That's like a hack and slash game. It's like push the A button until
that's
you
all you
get to
gotta
the
do. Bounce. But as Rodman said, we are looking at like Super Mario Odyssey, which I think is gonna be awesome. And then also not to make this too long, Nintendo is coming out with Super Nintendo World. It's a theme park in Japan.
Wow.
Yeah, something I just heard. We'll not talk about that. I might throw a link in the description. I might not, because I might be lazy. Who knows?
He's gonna throw a link.
And then the very last thing we want to talk about, kind of like regarding Nintendo, we do want to briefly mention that there is a Super Nintendo Mini coming out. 21 preloaded games. We have Star Fox 2, which was never released.
Zelda.
Another Zelda. I think it's Link to the Past or Skyward Sword. I don't remember which one it is. Star Fox 2, and then there's a Mario RPG apparently that they're coming out with it. Basically, the things we want to talk about there, though. Wrapping up kind of the E3 talk last week, we saw the
in the comments.
Yeah, we saw the comments there. We're talking about consoles. We want to get a little bit more information out to you guys, kind of like not necessarily a buying guide, but like kind of our picks.
Yes.
And the jury's still out on, I think, what's best, because the Xbox isn't out yet. We don't really know what to expect from that. It might be a terrible piece of crap, but given
it might be a DVR like the Xbox One.
Right. I mean, given
when they promoted that, when they promoted the Xbox One, all they were promoting was, you can watch TV and play video games. Who does that?
Right.
Really?
So maybe it'll do more. I'm expecting some pretty big things from that. 4K video games, 60 frames per second, stuff like that. That's awesome. That's what we want to see. With that, I think we're gonna leave you guys.
Yep. Like, subscribe, comment, share, tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend. Tell all those friends to
tell a friend what's up.
Yeah. And we love you guys. We love the feedback that you guys are giving us. And until the next show, I'm Rock. That's your boy Just. And this is the Rock and Rising Show. Deuces.